Okay, so we need to talk about 2.5. Go ahead and get prepped for 2.5 lecture, and we can work some problems too. We're talking about finding the equation of a line. When you find the equation of a line, you need two things. You need a point and you need the slope. And you pop them in point slope form. So to get started, remember this review. Slope of a line is change in your y's over change in your x's, and you have to have y on top. That's rise over run. Point slope form of the equation is y minus y1 equal m times x minus x1. That is point slope form. You use point slope form when you're given the slope and a point. That's all you need to find the equation of a line. When we talk about finding the equation of a line, our answer is going to look like this. Y equal mx plus b. That's the equation of a line in point slope form. So, when we use point slope form, you have y1 and x1. That's this point right here that you're given is the big picture. So first of all, you have to know this formula, but the more you work with it and the more you practice it, you'll learn it. Y1 and x1 are the numbers you're going to plug in. That is the point that we're talking about. If we find an equation of the line through -4, 1, there's our point, having a slope of -3, there's our slope, then we just plug it into this equation. M is your slope, and xy is your point. And work it out. That's what we do. So y minus our y value, which is 1, equal m, which is my slope, -3, x minus, go back to your point and plug in the x value. So there's -4. Every time we're asked to find an equation of the line, this is where we start. Point slope form. You have to have a point and you have to have the slope. And plug it into point slope form. That's why it's called point slope form, because you plug in a point and the slope. To work this out, we have -3 and minus a minus is plus. So y minus 1 equal, we're going to distribute that -3 through there. Remember, we want this, we want y by itself. Add a 1 here, add a 1 there. So we end up with -3x minus 11. And that's the equation of that line. Slope is -3. Solving for y gives us the slope-intercept form of the equation. That's what this is, slope-intercept form, because -3 is your slope. Remember, that's what m is. But b also has a significance. So let's put this in just standard slope-intercept form, mx plus b. We talked Wednesday where m is the slope. The b number, that's the number, is the y-intercept. If you remember, we talked about what a y-intercept is. Remember when we drew the graph, a y-intercept is a point anywhere on the y-axis. The line intercepts the y-axis. Usually, remember that x is always 0 on the y-intercept, no matter what that y value is going to be. Well, that's what this number is. It is the y-intercept. So now the symbol for the y-intercept is b. X is going to be 0. And the y-intercept is going to be whatever number is right there. It makes it so much easier to graph a line too. So let's use that. If we find an equation of the line, okay, here we go. It's find an equation of the line again. That means I need two things. I need a point and I need the slope. But all I have are 2 points. I don't have the slope. So I do have a point, but can I find the slope? Well, yeah, because I know what the formula is, remember? It's the difference in our y's over the difference in our x's. So to find the slope, I know that y minus y1 over x minus x1. So let's see. Let's do 4 minus 1 over 2 minus that 1, which would be 3 over 1. So that's what my slope is, 3 over 1, or 3. Remember the whole number 3? We referenced that Wednesday that every whole number really has an automatic denominator of 1. Use the newly found slope, which is 3, and one of the sets of points and put it in point slope form. So number 1, you've got your slope. Number 2, a point. Number 3, point slope form. Okay, point slope form, y minus some y equals slope times x minus the x value of your point. So the y value, I'm going to use 2, 4, just because I feel like it. Y minus 4 equal my slope, which is 3, times x minus 2. My x, and then work it out. It's just arithmetic. Distribute the 3 through here. 3x minus 6. Add a 4. Y equals 3x minus 2. And that's it in slope-intercept form. If my slope is 3, and my y-intercept, x is 0, remember the y-intercept, my y-intercept will be -2. So if we were graphing this line, we would plot our point, 0, -2, there it is right there, your y-intercept, and apply our slope. Up 3 and to the right 1. And your line would go right through that point. So knowing this, we just did all of this. Pause the video and see if you can find the equation of the line. So you know immediately you've got to use point slope form. And here's the information that you're given. You're given 2 points. I'm going to go forward and see if your answer matches my answer. First step, you got to find the slope. So -4 minus 2 over 2 minus -3. That would be -6 over 5. So there's my slope. And I have a point. Doesn't matter what point you use. Y minus the y value equal the slope times x minus 2. Okay, oh, this is going to be kind of messy because it's a fraction. Distribute, so -6 over 5x. -6 times -2 is a +12 over 5. Subtract 4 from both sides. Y equal -6 over 5x plus, oh, let's see, let's see, 12 over 5. Let me see if I can do this. 12 divided by 5 minus 4. That gives me negative 1.6, but let's change that to a fraction, and that would be negative 8/5. Negative 8 over 5. It sure helps when you got a fancy calculator. So this is our slope-intercept form. My y-intercept, but this is your answer. This is the equation of a line in slope-intercept form. My y-intercept is 0 because x is always 0 for your y-intercept, and negative 8 over 5. My slope is negative 6 over 5. And we could graph that. Oh, geez, it's messy. But we know that 8 over 5 is the same thing as 1.6. So x is 0. We want to go negative 1.6. So that's negative 1, a little bit over a half. There's my y-intercept. My slope is negative 6 over 5. I think I'm going to go positive 6 and back 5. Looks like it might be easier. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It'd be about like that. You don't really have to do that with that one, but I wanted to show you, and hopefully you understand. You find the y-intercept first, and then apply your slope. And I'll finish up the second page in video number 2.